Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And it might be the end of line for Jared Leto. They're saying it's definitely the end of line, for Tron as a theatrical series of films. Tron Ares didn't go very well. And all the media outlets are talking about what this means for the future of Tron, and it doesn't look very good. Obviously, it did less than Tron Legacy. The movie, well, some people liked it, and that's fine. If you liked it, loved it, whatever, it didn't make money, right?
Right, which means the majority of people just didn't go.
Right.
Whether you like it or not, doesn't matter. You went to the theater. People just didn't go to the theater to see it. And no matter how much you have these people, like every time anybody mentions anything, coming in and saying, go to see it in the theater, cowards, or whatever.
You're a bigot.
Yeah, it's not gonna, as one person, if you didn't like it, you don't belong in the theater. Like that kind of stuff's not gonna help your case. So I expect it to go down more because of the either bots or shows or just rabid fans are going to drive the normies further away with their behavior.
So we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about the potential end of Tron as a film series, and also the potential end of Jared Leto's career as a leading man. You just said before we started recording that it doesn't matter. He'll get more chances, just like Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, I was like, I never seen anybody do so crap, and then just keep giving them gigs. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I mean, he's like 3 for 3 now, 4 for 4. I mean, he's like everything he's in. It's like box office poison. And
I don't think Masters of the Universe is going to do great either.
Oh, hell no. I think what's going to happen with Masters of the Universe is when we see the trailer, they'll lure us in with nostalgia, but then I think it's going to be radically different from the show.
Well, the guy that's playing He-Man made comments to that effect, like, they're about how they're changing it and taking it in a different direction than the original. And I was like, do you not know why other things have been failing?
Yeah, I mean, you have a chance to actually make a good Masters of the Universe movie, but of course we have to make it take place on Earth because it's cheaper, right? We can't just do Eternia. I mean, God, you've got CGI and AI and all that. You can make an amazing Eternia, but yeah, let's go back to what didn't work in '87. So anyway, let's talk about Tron. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
So a lot of people talk about this. You were talking about it yesterday.
It was. It's an article. I saw it yesterday because somebody in the article, was an insider, said the quiet part out loud. And I was like, oh, kudos. They finally said, it was going to fail no matter who was in it. It could have been, somebody else, and it would have still done poorly. Because
I think Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, they said it could be Ryan Gosling, and it still would have done crap.
Well, I mean,
just didn't want it. No one asked for this.
No, nobody asked. Well, no, people have been asking for a third Tron, just not a third Tron that had nothing to do with the previous two movies. It's starring Jared Leto. As soon as they said this movie is not connected to the first two really a whole lot, and it's starring Jared Leto, I'm like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, because we're going to be honest. This whole thing was a vehicle for Jared Leto to stick himself in Tron because he's a Tron fan.
But, just putting Ryan Gosling in it doesn't mean it's going to be a hit either, because he was in Blade Runner 2049, which I actually liked, but it didn't do well. And he was in Fall Guy, which I actually liked.
I liked Fall Guy, actually.
Fall Guy was actually pretty good.
I used to watch the original with my dad, so that's, I'm also biased. But, yeah, so if you look at this article, at the end they say that. But they bring up, it just, no one asked for this. And that's what the person says. It's like, no one asked for this movie. Didn't matter who you put in it. People just weren't going to go see it.
Wow, this is interesting because in this article here, this is coming from The Hollywood Reporter. Yeah. They said, next up is him playing Skeletor in Masters of the Universe. They say it could be a good career move.
Doubt it.
Or not. I still think I could be wrong. I'm making a prediction. I believe they will make him Keldor for most of the movie because he actually does look like Keldor. They'll make him Keldor, and then at the very end, he'll be Skeletor because
probably,
we got to make sure we get his face.
Or he's using like a hologram of Keldor over himself or something,
Yeah.
To look human, more human-esque, or whatever. So I saw they mentioned that. It's just not going to do well. I'm sorry. And then they get to the bottom. They're talking about how, he got like 7-figure salary for both playing in the movie and producing the movie, because a lot of the movie was him, I guess, him working on it and him paying up the money. But are you gonna read this here? Yeah,
I was gonna read this because this is actually very telling. This is a talent agency partner in a big agency saying, Morbius opened to 39 million, which is better than Tron. That was a couple of years ago. But they said, in a world where Michael Fassbender, Ewan McGregor, and Benedict Cumberbatch are having a hard time getting leading roles, why would you even go to a person who can't open a movie and who has question marks around him as a person? Because, there's all the allegations of...
That's the thing, but why... But then again, why does Kathleen Kennedy still have a job? Why? Why do they keep? Why when they learned over and over again that for the modern audience and making it all girl power and crap for these franchises like Terminator, like Terminator and all that stuff didn't go over either. But yet they kept trying it. Like they just wouldn't stop. If you don't get it to work once, do it 20, 30 times, and one of them is bound to work, but they haven't. Doesn't make any sense, but they do it anyway. But the last paragraph is what I was talking about yesterday. They're saying an insider said Leto's currency in town has run colder than Morbius's vampire blood. To be clear, I can't read it because the flame out of Tron isn't Leto's burden alone. He could have had Ryan Gosling. It wasn't going to work. You could have Ryan Gosling wasn't going to work, said the agency partner, so the talent agency. No one asked for this reboot. Amen. If you say Tron Ares is good, we just need a different actor, you're deluding yourself. Because it was never good. Yeah, that's what I said. This guy just went there. Guy or girl, I'm assuming it's a him. They just went there. They said the quiet part out loud. They said what all of us have been saying.
So it's kind of wild too, because you get these people that are critical of YouTubers like us that are like, saying nobody asked for this when, a sequel or a prequel fails. And it was very obvious. It was very, very obvious when they greenlit it that this was not going to work. Even if the movie itself was okay, there wasn't going to be enough general interest from audiences for like, oh, let's do a Mad Max prequel without Mad Max, oh boy. And it's like, nobody asked for this because literally nobody asked for it, right? In this case, it was like people have been clamoring for a proper Tron 3 for years, but that ship has pretty much sailed. It's been 15 years. Disney let Tron atrophy, and I think the only reason that they greenlit this one is they have a roller coaster. I think that's literally it. I think they have a coaster.
They had done a follow-up to Legacy. I think it would have gone a lot better. I mean, you like Legacy better than me. Now, I love Legacy. I wish there was more Tron. I mean, yes, people are like, Tron was in it. Yeah, not yes and no. Okay.
No, that's he wasn't Tron.
Really wasn't Tron in that one. I'm sorry. But, if they had continued it and then put Tron in it, I think you would have done a hell of a lot better than let's just scrap everything yet again and throw in Jared Leto, because this basically was a vehicle for Jared Leto, partially paid for by Jared Leto.
Starring Jared Leto. Written by Jared Leto. Produced by Jared Leto.
And people don't like Jared Leto. I'm sorry, they don't. And then two, nobody asked for this. They wanted a Tron movie. First of all, they didn't want to wait 15 years for another part. Two, they wanted it to be a continuation of what they already had, not something completely new and completely removed, with a tease of, if this does well, if you go see this one and pay us for this one, we might give you what you wanted in the next one.
Yeah, and that never works. They did that with G.I. Joe too. I thought it was really like the first live action G.I. Joe movie. I thought there were some parts of it that were okay, but I'm like, you know what? Let's just get to G.I. Joe fighting Cobra. Like, we don't want to wait to see Cobra Commander and proper Destro until the last 30 seconds in the movie. Like, we want to see G.I. Joe fighting Cobra Commander. Then the second one messed up. They're like, oh, let's kill all the Joes from the Let's kill all the Joes from the first movie, introduce a whole new cast, and then they get to fight proper Cobra. It's like,
see, that's just it. They all keep, and Disney, with Marvel and stuff, notorious for this too. They all keep trying to set up this franchise because that's all Disney cares about is franchising and trying to get as much out of one IP as they can. So they're all too busy trying to set up the next one, the next one, the next one in a franchise that they don't actually just give you a good movie that makes you want to come back for the next one. Because they're too busy as of late. Like, we have to, like you said, do it at the end, so you have to come back. And by that point, you're like, well, that sucked, because I'm not coming back.
I think they're starting to learn this with television, too. There is no guarantee that you're going to get another season. There is no guarantee you're going to get another movie. I mean, part of the reason I think the 80s movies work so well is that nobody expected them to have sequels.
No.
So you had to tell your story. You had to do something unique. You had to get a hook.
You had to
get
give
the audience
100% of the time. Like, you couldn't just phone it in. Disney's notorious for phoning shit in. Like when they opened Galaxy's Edge and Iger's like, well, just slap Star Wars on it and they'll all come.
Nah.
You can't just expect like you're going to give a subpar story with a teaser of the next one at the end, and it's going to be like Marvel was pre-COVID, where everybody was afraid to miss the movie for fear they miss something. You broke that cycle. COVID broke that cycle. They don't care anymore. They're not going to go to the theater. They I can live without this. Hot damn. And you have to give 100% of the time, and you have to make each movie complete as we can tease another story. But Tron did do this, though. The Ares movie did make a complete story with the teasing for more, but it was a completed story.
Yeah, I would. I mean, it's interesting. It did feel kind of like you could have taken the Tron connection out of it and just called it like Supercomputer Man or something. And true. It would have been the same movie. There's no Tron.
There's like it's NCOM and stuff like that. There's no Tron.
It could have been. I mean, honestly, it could have been another movie. It felt like it was another movie. They just kind of shoehorned the Tron connection into it. But they're talking about how the original follow-up to Legacy did have a character named Ares.
Yes, which you talked about multiple times to me.
And what they did is they basically just took Ares out of it. But Ares was, my understanding from what I remember of it was supposed to be Sam and Cora coming into the real world. And then Ares was supposed to be the Athena character hunting down Sam and Cora. But again, you had the time limit. He could only, last like 29 minutes, which actually would have been kind of cool. It would have been like Terminator. But, then they just like plucked Ares out of it. And I think they were thinking if this did well, then maybe we'll do a Tron 4 and we'll get everybody together. But like, this isn't the MCU, right? And even the MCU is not really the MCU anymore. Like you're saying, you can't just like, we're going to eventually do an Avengers movie, but you got to watch these other 20 movies first.
Yeah, what they needed to do was they needed to bring a continuation to Legacy now. Not set up for it for later. They needed to do that. It's like they needed to put Tron in all three movies.
Yeah.
Which, I'm not going to argue with you. Tron was not in the second movie. That doesn't count. Okay. Oh, at the end. Oh, just so you know, that bad guy might be Tron. Doesn't count.
Yeah.
Tron should be in Tron. I'm sorry.
I think the problem too is if you're trying to build brand awareness of Tron for a new generation, because you're talking the first movie was like 30 plus, or the first sequel was 30 plus years.
Done fantastic. None of them have done extremely well.
No,
Legacy
Tron
did the best, but yeah.
Yeah, and that was because there was a lot of buildup because of San Diego, and the visuals at the time were very, very cool, and it was a 3D movie, and everybody was into that.
The visuals for this were really good, especially if you saw it in IMAX, because it was made for IMAX.
Yeah.
But that visuals alone aren't enough. Like we say about comics all the time. A comic can look really pretty, but the story sucks. People aren't going to read it, even if it looks cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just it. And but there was no connection, because they have the Tron connection. It's like if you wanted to bring Tron back, you would almost have to make sure the movie is about Tron first and foremost, and make update Tron for modern audiences, not like the modern audience, but actually like make Tron relevant to today's kids and video games and all that stuff, which they could have done. It looked like they're trying to hint around about it, like Space Paranoids was kind of like the Fortnite of this world, and it was like a big deal. But I think if they had actually put Tron in the damn Tron movie and made Tron a cool character, people would be all about it. Then you can spin it off.
Tron in there somewhere, like you might not know it's him or whatever. Not Jared Leto, but like a character you didn't know in the digital world was him, and then he it's time to reactivate Tron to stop the threat, and they reactivated it and made it Tron. That would have been cool. But they aren't going to do that because that would have taken away from Jared Leto, and this is Jared Leto's vehicle to promote Jared Leto. And it doesn't work.
I thought they were going to make him Tron. I swear to God, I thought they were going to.
Part of me is like, well, at least that would have kind of made sense. But the other part of me is like, oh, hell no, that would have been so arrogant, but totally in line with Jared Leto.
Yeah, I thought, because when he went to the bluish white light, the spoiler at the end of the movie, and he got the permanence code, spoiler. I thought that the permanence code rewrote him as Tron 3.0 or whatever, and yeah, I thought that's where they're gonna go with it, and they didn't do it. But yeah, like you said, if he could get away with it, he would have been like, I'm Tron now, bitches. But they're saying the franchise is dead at this point. There's no way in hell they're gonna do it again on the big screen. I think the best bet for, and I said it in the other video, we talked about it, Disney's best bet for Tron, you heard it here first, so if other people run with it, because they tend to do that, because we tend to be doing everybody else's homework, I think the best bet for Tron, since it is a computer generated world, is if you want to experiment with AI, Disney, okay, you want to experiment with AI, do it as a Disney Plus show. use AI special effects because it's not going to look weird in Tron because the whole thing is computerized and it's about AI, and lean into that, but do it as a show. Make sure Tron is actually in the damn show, and make it cool as shit. And then you kill two birds with one stone. You're like, oh yeah, and we got to basically practice on Tron with AI because it's not out of place.
I don't know if I go there, but a show, yes. A show would have been better because then you could have at least built a background into where, the other characters went, and where Tron is, why Tron wasn't the last one, where is Tron now? And that's what they should have done. And I'm sorry.
Uprising was good.
Yeah,
Uprising
well, they could have done more like that, but they didn't. So it doesn't matter. It's toast. You done cooked it. Shocker there. Disney just somehow manages to ruin everything they have hold of. That's why they're trying to go get buy books and stuff that are popular, the rights to those, because they're trying desperately to find the next Harry Potter or the next thing that they can pistol over and destroy. Yeah.
I know. It's like they kill everything they touch. I mean, seriously, how do you destroy Star Wars? How do you destroy Marvel Comics?
You've heard of the Midas touch. It's now the minus touch.
It is the minus touch. Oh my God. All right. This is funny, though, at the end of this here, real quick, Movie Web. They said Jared Leto already does have a few projects in the pipeline with his starring role as Skeletor in Amazon's upcoming Masters of the Universe reboot, causing all manner of worry. Are you allowed to say that?
Oh, you are now. We've been saying it for years, and we've been calling this shit out. It's been an interesting last several years with all the crap we've taken, but now it's safe. So you're welcome. You can call it out now because people like us already did.
All right, so let's wrap this one up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.
For more pop culture news, views, and rants, go to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com.